Sorry about that.
Hello.
Hello.
Who have we got here?
I'm Sarah Davis, European Under 23 champion.
Sarah Davis. I just want to start on that. I was led to believe that you were Sarah Davies and spent probably the last 2 years talking about Jack Oliver and Sarah Davies. How come you kept this on the D-Lo?
It's one of those things that you just get used to people saying it wrong, so you just go with it. Like, I've got fed up over the years of correcting people, so I just... whatever.
I mean, Jack, were you part of this
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy,
man. I've been in on it since day one.
Nice, because in my head, I feel like I've seen Jack's mouth say Davies.
No.
No, just Sarah.
I couldn't say, man.
And then the other thing as a we got a phone.
This is just my Adams alarm going off.
This is Adams alarm.
You know, you don't want to forget to fill in your Adams and get banned.
Yes. Do you want for the listeners know what Adams is?
So it's an online drug testing database. So if you're English, or British, you know, if you're a decent lifter, you have to fill in where you're going to be for a 1 hour slot every single day of the year, including Christmas Day, and where you sleep. And you have to be there. If you're not there 3 times when they try and test you, you get banned. But they can turn up the test at any time. In fact, any time, full stop, day or night, if they want to test you. But this is kind of a British thing. If you're Russian, you just take drugs and it's fine.
So we're in Cyprus right now. So what you're telling me is UK anti-doping could essentially just turn up at the door at your allotted time.
Yeah, my tester Steve's been to Magaluf for a couple of days to go and do some drug testing. So I've done my Adams. There's no reason. Nobody knows.
Davis or Davies.
Davis or Davies.
Nobody definitely knows that. So yeah, Steve could turn up tomorrow morning, knocking on the door, and say, "I need your pot of wee," and I'm off to Napa.
Well, we're in a situation where our front door's not really locked, is it? So
don't tell people.
The UK guy, the anti-doping, could essentially turn up in your room.
Yeah, Steve would just walk straight in if
he might take your pee in the night.
Yeah, that would save some time.
And blood while you're sleeping.
Yeah, well, they've got to have someone in the nurse to do that.
Have you?
Actually, 2 of them will get holiday.
That's 2 people inside the house without any lock.
But that could happen every night. You wouldn't even know, because the door's always open. Open door policy, we call it.
It is, it's nice. And then I was going to ask, so you're not related to Andrew Davis?
Not as far as I'm aware,
No. Because it's kind of getting annoying, because you've got like Keith Morgan, who's Crystal Palace coach, and Dave Morgan, which we know has a brother, but it's not Keith Morgan.
No.
I mean, how many same surnames do you need in one sport?
And Owen Boxall.
Boxall, oh my, that is not even a normal name.
Yeah.
It's not even a normal name. Why is Boxall and is Boxall one of them, and one's Boxall?
I'm not sure.
Keith Boxall, I think.
Yeah, but it sounds the same, so it's plenty of confusion. And I've never met anyone else with that sort of name.
Yeah, but no one's called Oliver. No one else has been called Oliver.
You said Oliver, I'm not
Oliver. My point is, if you want to be good in weightlifting, you need to have the same surname as someone who's come before you.
There'll be another one after me then.
Yeah, I might change my name.
Maybe it's like Oliver Caruso, the German.
Will the one after you actually be related to you? That's the question.
Yeah, I'll
make a son world champion.
Pops him out when I'm ready, you know.
And then Davies. You might want to keep it Davis. Jack Oliver.
Too confusing.
You'd call them. You'd call the first name whatever name Vanev, like Zlatan.
Yeah, standard name.
Zlatan Oliver Davis, and you'd have a world champion in your hands. So, yeah, exactly. Excuse the chairs. We're on some creaky IKEAs here. So we're in a situation now where I envision Cyprus to be Jack and Sarah lifting some big weights, and we're more in a position where we've got Sarah lifting big weights and Jack being the coach with the robot arm.
Robocop.
So we got two injuries going on. What's the first?
Well, I pranged my arm at the Europeans. That's a technical term. I've torn the ligaments, and if you're going to do a job, you got to do it properly. So I tore it completely in 2 different places on a jerk. it was a bit of a screamer, and it was pretty unpleasant. We were trying to avoid surgery, so I had 4 weeks in a cast, and then I went to have the cast taken off last week at the hospital, and got my appendix removed while I was there. Because sometimes it's good, just to have random abdominal surgery when you go to get cast taken off. So I've been in a bit of stomach pain, which got worse and worse, and after a lot of throwing up and stuff, and some blood tests and x-rays and scans, they were like, look mate, your stomach's going to explode, we need to get that out of there. So I went in to have my cast taken off and lost my appendix, but they took my cast off too, luckily, although then they taped it back on so that it wouldn't get knocked around while I was having surgery. But then after that, luckily I managed to take it back off again. So now I'm in a bionic arm, and let's have a look, 25 degrees away from straightening it, so I've got some work to do. And so I'm just here to coach and make Sarah train hard.
That's good. And what's the time scale of your recovery?
Give or take, a really long time. Yeah, it's maybe 6 months if I'm lucky, because as you can see, I can't straighten my arm yet, and I'm on about week 6.
Podcast, they can't see.
As well, as you heard, I'm at 25 degrees. You can feel the tension in that arm. Yeah, so I'll be happy if I can even straighten it after 8 weeks. I think rehab starts maybe somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks, depending on how long it takes to get the range back, and then several months to build the strength back into it, so maybe 6 months.
Well, I think, like my coach, Mike Pearman, he had the old school treatment where they put it in a cast for like 6 months after he broke it. So, I mean, it was guaranteed it was going to be bent. They casted it at a bent angle and then it stayed there. So at least,
I mean, that's not really that different. I mean, the whole cast was just stick it bent, and yeah, so it moves a bit more now, but who knows what it'll end up like. We just hope for the best and hopefully get squatting again when my stomach's not going to give me a hernia. Yeah, that was a warning. You get a hernia if you try and do any training. So
with the appendix.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a comedy timing, but hopefully it gives you enough time to get back to training and get ready for the next Commonwealths.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
And and actually get that medal you pretty much deserve.
Yeah, it's about time.
Indeed, and it'll be in a much warmer place than.
It's actually really hot in Glasgow.
It was. I remember. Do you not remember we went to the pub and I was wearing a wife beater and and Clegg,
Joey's tracky boots.
Yeah.
I might have had 1 or 2 beers that night, so I couldn't say.
There were quite a few beers going down after that.
Might have been 3 actually.
Yeah. All I remember is I had tickets to see the 85Bs in the morning, and we got back so late, and I could not keep my eyes open at all. Like, I woke up and had the breakfast just out of courtesy of the hotel, and then I watched the guy bomb out a 90-kilo snatch, and then I watched Natasha get put in the B group because they lied about their entry totals to try and like play the game.
Yeah.
And then she ended up doing really badly. I think she bombed out as well because she followed herself in every lift or something. Yeah, the Welsh tried to play the game, but the Commonwealth standards improved so much. Or it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But alas,
things happen.
Yes, but hopefully we'll have a big team.
We had a few 4th places between us as a team as well.
I thought that was what we were going for.
Placing.
How many 4ths can we? Can we get?
Jack,
me,
Rebecca,
Owen, and Tilly. Yeah, and we had like 5ths and stuff.
Wasn't Mercy like 4th as well?
Might have been.
Yeah.
Basically everyone.
A solid 4th.
Apart from Benjamin Watson.
Benjamin third place Watson.
LeBronzation with his 157.
Representing the men.
Just dealt with it.
He just dealt with it.
And I cheered quite loudly when the Barbados bloke bombed, missed his 3rd attempt at missed 190 3 times, and he's been banned before lifting those same weights, so clearly on drugs still, otherwise he wouldn't be lifting the same weights as pre-ban.
Why is Barbados in the Commonwealth?
Who knows, he must have owned it at some point. And then he bombed, and I stood up and cheered, got a few funny looks.
Did you? Yeah, I remember that.
You've been banned before, so you're allowed to cheer when they bomb. That's the rules.
That's
if you've been banned before, you're allowed to cheer them bombing.
You'd be cheering in the whole of the World Champs. But I thought it was funny when we were watching New Jack, and then Sarah said I was more nervous than you because of the old man crush fanboy stuff. But it was pretty nerve-wracking, I think, watching that. It was funny that 45. It was 45, was it? 46?
Last snatch 45, yeah.
That you threw over it. And it was like, man, if you'd have done that back then, I was ahead of the time, given that, it took you a few more years to get it down. And then the old clean and jerk knockout that you did.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. That was a real screw up, that. That had never happened before. Who knows what happened?
No one's ever seen that before from you. Like, guaranteed consistency.
Yeah.
I did a tweet.
My mum watches you lifting, but something goes wrong.
I did a tweet though, and it managed to get on the board.
That's
I did a tweet
cool.
like watching Jack getting jacked or something, and it got up there. So, Sarah, you're not injured. Well, you're good for training, shall we say?
Training.
So, we've got a few comps coming up. Hopefully 2, I would say. So we've got the seniors in 2 weeks.
That's all it is.
Is it 2 weeks, coach?
Yeah, you're just ready.
She's ready.
Yeah.
She's ready.
You've not got long left when you get back.
Yeah.
This is the end of it, really. This week. In Cyprus,
This is the big. This is the big week. So, I mean, the idea that, like I said, the idea of the Beaches and Barbells holiday this time was, to get away where we've got some kind of private way to fund warm weather training, so that essentially you two had a good build up to Rio. But it is the kind of the big heavy week you usually have before a competition. So what's the situation with, say, tomorrow, coach or Sarah?
Tomorrow is a heavy day, but not that many exercises. So I've got 3 fairly heavy doubles on clean and jerk, and then some fairly heavy frees on back squat, ready for a day off Sunday, and then fresh for Manic Mondays, which is Big Friday.
Big Friday.
Throw the kitchen sink here on Monday.
Yeah, I've seen the programme, and I mean, it looks horrible, to be honest.
I try my best.
Do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. But I mean, with the team we've got some good training partners going on. So you've got Jess as well. She's training for the seniors, right?
Mhm.
And do you want to say a little bit about Jess and her background, why she's so good?
Jess started in CrossFit basically. She's been lifting for about 3 years, but she's been training.
Well, CrossFit for 3 years.
Yeah,
and then
she's been training under Jack specific lifting for 1.5 years. So obviously, wisdom for weightlifting is where you make champions.
Yeah, that's just fact.
It's just
and
fact.
she's built for weightlifting, and she's a bit nutty like a weightlifter. She throws herself under the weight and doesn't think
dwarf
about
arms she's got are just
Only
perfect.
20
I mean,
exercises.
I've only known her for 3 days, right? And
She's got some crazy power. I remember when she came for the first session, I was like, I don't think I told her, I don't like to be too nice to people.
You can't be nice, no.
So I was just like, you should come back for another session, when in reality I was thinking she's got ridiculous power. If I can make her do some more lifting, subliminally plant the message to be a weightlifter, then she could get somewhere. And then she banged out a 65 power snatch today, an 87 kilo power clean, 60 kilos.
So essentially we're looking at either a run for the gold medal or definitely up there at the medals.
Yeah, the 58 is going to be so close that you can't even
whoever has a
begin
good
to
day,
work
really,
out.
isn't it?
So all the girls are within a few kilos of each other, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be a good one to watch.
It'd be definitely a good class to watch.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think when you've got a few, Jess essentially is an underdog in terms of no one really knows too much about her.
Yeah,
she's in a big improvement.
And then she got a medal at the English in them situation, so, step up to the plate.
Exactly. So, 63s, we've got a bit of a battle coming up. We got someone called Zoe Smith.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Sarah. And we got any other players in the game?
Not for first and second, but then you got Olivia Black, who's another Europa lifter.
Yeah, up and coming, I hear.
Very well coordinated kit.
Yeah.
Very well, yeah.
She's doing stress well. Give her that.
Yeah. Is she?
Yeah, she's
You gotta look good. You gotta look good.
Look good, feel good.
Look good. Look good.
Train
Lift
good, maybe.
Lift good. Look good. Lift good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go with that.
Yeah.
And then we obviously got some of the other ex-63s essentially. So we've got Emily Godley lifting in the 69s, and essentially the youngest person going lifting huge weights, Rebecca Tyler.
Yes.
So that would be a good battle. But I think
I don't think anyone saw Emily. Like no one saw it coming at the English that she'd be Rebecca.
No, that was a surprise, and Emily looked strong. Essentially, I didn't look.
And she's got some beautiful hamstrings.
There you go.
And them hamstrings. I mean, if you don't know her, don't do it. But if you know her well, you gotta give them a little grab. Just get a handful because there's some good hamstring there.
Yeah, I mean hamstrings are more acceptable than glute touching, I think.
Yeah,
so
I think that would be too much.
Possibly too much. Because you go in like a physio, don't you, when you grab hamstrings? You go like, nice hamstring definition there. But if you start going glute definition, then you just...
Definitely a little bit
it's too far, yeah.
Although that seems to be a general conversation starter when I'm around. People are like, you've got a really good bum. I'm like, hi, I just met you.
And I did walk in earlier.
This is crazy. But you've got good glutes.
And you were
so call me baby.
Playing with Jess's bum earlier when we got to the gym too.
But
What?
Yeah, he had
Christian, not me.
Yeah, no, Christian had an elbow.
I had an elbow in there, yeah. Never met her 2 days in.
But that's what friends do. You know, they elbow each other's bums.
My husband's in the military, mate. You gotta be careful.
He's gonna come shoot me in the head. But the actual words were, I was elbowing Ross's glute, shall we say? And then she said, "Whatever you're doing to Ross, can you do to me?" And then I was like, "That's a little bit risque, yeah." Because me and Ross have got a special relationship.
And then she did 2 PBs, so...
I'm taking the credit for that.
That's fair.
And I had my elbow in Andy Rugg's bum at the England camp. Couldn't even clean 70 kilos before that. Got in there, loosened him off, 180 clean and jerk twice.
You're going to get yourself known as the
glute man. I'll be like Brett Contreras. The glute guy. But with no information on it. But no, I mean, I think you just put yourself out there as a physical athlete. Everyone's going to treat you as though you're a physical specimen and comment on such things like, look at those quads, look at those traps.
Yeah.
And that's just something you're going to have to live with. I'm sorry.
I'll get over it.
So, in terms of the runnings for the old Rio spot, those are the girls, right? Yourself, Zoe, Emily, Tyler. Is there anyone else with a Sinclair that...
Mercy could be up there.
Yeah. I mean, she's always improving though and very consistent as well.
Yeah.
It's like, hence why the medal's at the seniors,
exactly.
you know.
She's doing really well at the minute.
She loves people to hug her. She really loves it.
Quite the opposite?
No, she loves it.
Personal space.
Personal space thing, yes.
Well, she likes it when I hug her anyway.
You ever hug Mercy?
No, I'm too scared.
Everyone's scared, yeah. She's a lovely lady, but very strong in mind and body.
I like Mercy. She makes me laugh.
So, what's the what are your aims, shall we say, for the competition? Are you looking for a particular weights, or are you looking for consistency?
Everyone likes an underdog.
Everyone likes an underdog. That's true. And what's the selection criteria for Rio? I mean, how are you gonna?
There's selection totals, and the main part of the criteria is like percentage over the total. So to make it fair.
It's not.
Well, that's kind of one of the biggest things.
It says in no particular order.
Yeah, but that's the main thing. There wouldn't be selection totals at all.
Okay.
No, you have to hit the total.
Yeah, you have to hit the total, and then it goes percentage over total.
Yep.
To make it fair across body weights rather than like.
But the totals are judged off placings in the past Olympics?
Yeah, so it's based on a top 8 finish in previous Olympics on average. And then from there it comes down to stuff like potential to medal in Tokyo, so like going forward, because that's what our funding is based off. Injury free, like being part of the programme. Yeah, so.
And like things like if you can make body weight, so like if you've failed to make body weight in like big international competitions or something, then they're not going to take you if they can't trust you to do it. So just stuff like that, like whether they can rely on you. So it's not all about the weight you lifted. Don't get me wrong. If someone lifts like 20 kilos more than you, then they're going to go. But if it's a close call, which it will be, because we've got like 4 or 5 girls who are all lifting really similar weights, then it means you've got to kind of go, well, who can we trust, who's going to do this and who's young and improving and so on.
Yeah, that's the big thing, because obviously our funding is based off like Tokyo medals, because UK sport at the end of the day are a business, and they want to see a product and they want to see success from it. Like, if, as far as they're concerned, if they're not seeing medals, it's a failing business.
So what's the placings you need to continue funding then?
So we need. So our first thing was to qualify a women's spot, which we've done.
So did the men know we know funding.
Yeah, that's fair play. Like, we should have had two
we're
spots.
pretty awesome.
And then it's a top 8 finish for whatever person goes at the Olympics.
Top 8, okay. And so, I mean, what are the chances of, say, even the men getting their funding back, Jack?
I think,
Or
like,
probably.
no, the performance team are trying, and I think if whoever goes, like, if they do within that top 8 thing, then I guess it puts them in good stead to at least be considered for UK sport to get their funding back. But the thing is, we've got the women, and like you saw at the Europeans, there's like 4 girls all within like medal kind of numbers, whereas for the men, it's just so much harder for them to get within those numbers, and to be getting those medals. So UK sport don't really understand the difference between the two categories.
Well, I mean, if we look at the old, the totals of the London 2012, for example, you come in 10th. I mean, how close were you to come in 8th, for example? Do you remember these?
Yeah, I've got no idea, to be honest.
I mean,
Like, if Jack was to go to Rio, he would have probably finished 8th or above this time. But
Yeah, so I probably come. Yeah, so I guess I could have had that chance at doing a top 8 finish.
Yeah.
But obviously, got Robocop arm at the minute.
that's the other thing. Like, we've only really got in the men's side, we've only really got Jack in that position. Like, the rest of the men are getting there, like, but they're a lot younger in like lifting years.
Yeah. I mean, we know it takes time. We see it. Like, we know in a country with clean lifters that it takes so long to produce a strong team that can go out there and really do us justice. So I mean, I'm hoping, especially even if you look at Sonny, for example, he's ridiculously young for a lifter that is essentially our greatest hope for the Olympics.
Yeah, definitely. Like, people ask me about Sonny and so on, and like, so my best lifts, like, proportionally for my category, are a bit above his, but he's like 3 years younger than me or something, and so if you compare what he was doing to what was at his age, then he's just as good, maybe even better, I don't know. So he's young, he's not got a hair on his face yet, he's still waiting for that one to happen. I saw one once, but then he went out on a windy day and it was gone. So give him a few more years and he'll be a monster. I mean, he'll be a 200 kilo plus clean and jerker. I got no doubt about that.
Yeah. That'd be nice to have a few more Britons getting to 200.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool number to lift.
Yeah, and everyone takes you seriously then. But the plan after Rio, I mean, Sarah, have you got a plan? Life plan?
I'm going to go on holiday. I deserve it.
I heard rumours of all-inclusive. Is that the...
I want to go to Hawaii, but we've got no money.
That's a little plug there. Any sponsors?
Yeah.
Thompson Holidays, you out there?
Yeah, exactly. No, Virgin do a nice little tour, actually. Virgin.
Okay, Virgin.
There we go.
And it's only $3,000 a person.
Yeah, it's pocket
So-
money.
It's only $3,000 a person. I mean...
Me and Richard Branson, like, I've been to his house once.
That is
His
true.
island.
No, it's just
It's
his house.
Thunderbird
I went to
Island.
his party or something. I don't know, my dad flies Virgin, it's some Virgin card, so if you're listening, Richard, sort us out. Just so I'm sure you'll be listening.
You can trade weightlifting coaching for the holiday.
Yeah.
Wisdom for weightlifting.
Yeah.
Virgin.
Maybe we could get it on the side of the plane too, Wisdom for weightlifting. Yeah.
Isn't your logo a dog?
Yeah, well.
I mean, you're going to have a dog on the side of a Virgin.
Yeah, you have wisdom putting down the side, and then the tail bit where they have the bigger picture.
It's just
Yeah.
a dog,
Just get a dog
with,
on
with the tongue out.
I mean,
kind
that
of
would
thing.
probably sell tickets too for the trips.
That would. I mean,
Everyone loves a dog.
Everyone
Absolutely loves it. I'm trying to get some new t-shirts sorted because demand for dogs is high.
the story behind the dog, though. I mean, I feel like a bit like most of the confusion over like Davis and Davies. Do you want to settle that now?
What,
Why do you have a dog? Why do you have a dog on your
dogs.
t-shirts?
We have two
Do your
German
dogs
shepherds
lift?
that are adorable. And,
Yeah.
and
Do they
every-
lift?
Well, no, but every good gym has a gym dog.
That is true.
Um,
I mean, the gym dog can sometimes be a human as
yeah,
well.
like Europa.
Like
They've got either.
They've got either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
every
they
good
take all
gym's got a
shapes.
gym And because we kind of don't really have one gym that we train out of, we train out of a few places. Like we can't just take the dog in random places, so we just take him on our t-shirts.
Oh,
While
and
they're on the floor.
I mean, Jack and Sarah flew separately, but had check-in luggage between them, and so Jack flew out the day before with the bag, and he didn't really have many clothes, but he had a backpack, and I thought he surely packed some clothes, and there was something taking up quite a lot of room. I mean, do you want to...
Yeah, he's called Little Arnie. He's my dog. He's a German Shepherd Teddy, and he comes with me all around the world.
He's a big teddy. I mean,
yeah.
He's a Build-A-Bear size bear.
Yeah, he takes up the whole backpack.
I wanted to bring some tracksuit bottoms in case it was cold, but I didn't want to leave him behind, so I just took all my clothes out and just put the dog in.
I mean, you didn't even have a toothbrush, Jack.
Yeah, well,
That's because he just forgot that.
He
never remembers a toothbrush.
I just brought essentials, really. You get the dog and the Kindle and a passport, and you're pretty much good to go anywhere in the world then.
The old dog pillow.
Yeah, but how many times do you go somewhere and you're not comfortable because it's not your bed at home?
I mean,
and everyone says take your pillow or whatever.
Yeah,
but pillows are hassle because they're even bigger than a bear.
Yeah.
So you take your bear with you.
I'm pretty sure.
I've got Lily Bear, and the girls take the mick out of my bed, but I always sleep really well wherever I go. So
it's like GB cycling guidelines. So they came.
I know. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Really,
I literally was just thinking the old.
It's a 1%, isn't it? You know, you gotta get
They
those
bring
1%.
humidifiers. They bring humidifiers.
We'll
The same mattress. Weightlifters bring
that's pretty
stuff.
good.
But I
Teddy
mean,
stuff from home.
you know, two of the best chefs in the country, and they take their stuffed teddy bears away.
Yeah.
What's that telling you?
I mean, if you're
You
listening
go
now
get
and you
a
want
stuffed
big
teddy
lift,
He actually did bring one. I've seen it.
I did bring a stuffed teddy bear, yeah.
Yeah, which is why he's getting so jacked and tanned.
So Jackson Town, yeah. I mean, it's a little Elmo. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He doesn't live much. No.
He's just younger. He's fine.
He's incredibly young, so much so that he seems to just go over alphabets on Sesame Street. So the next few days, we're basically going to get jacked and tan and train a lot.
Provided it doesn't rain again.
Provided it doesn't rain again. I mean, there was a weird attack from Zeus from the mountains, wasn't there? The Cypriot mountains today, but it ended up being suntan weather by the end of it. So
then it was too cold.
Then it was too cold. I was pretty roasting, to be honest. It's pretty hot. But we'll get some beach time. I don't think the plan is though we might hit the water park, but I think the injury rate of water parks is quite high. So coach, you might not allow us to get there.
You know, if we go out, we walk around in my flip flops.
You can man the bags like mums do.
I'll be standing at the bottom, rating people's techniques on the slides, and maybe giving training lectures as they come off, that kind of thing.
I mean, I know I don't want to big myself up too much, but when we went there last time, you know the big slide, the one that gives you a massive wedgie, you know, the one that dips and then go, I walked into the water park and I was like, I'm going on that first. No adrenaline build up, no lazy river. I ran up the stairs, went down it, massive wedgie, and then my adrenaline was boom, 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 but I peaked too early. That was 1 RM straight away, and then went on the lazy river, and I was like, this isn't the same. And then Rug, a super heavyweight, 4 times British champ, he went up, and then they were like, you're too heavy, and he had to
Yeah. But there were scales that woman went to go in Spain that was the trap door.
Yeah.
She could break the trap door.
But I mean, Rug's 4 times British champion. So
he's 4 times British champ.
On that slide.
I know. I said he's 4 times British champ, and he said no. He just said no, and he was coming down with carrying the rubber ring that you needed to go down it. It's the saddest thing I've ever
Should have
seen.
just thrown it down. Should have stamped off hissy fit style.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I just jumped down it.
But what I don't get is the rubber ring can take 2 people weighing 150 kilos, but it can't take 1 person weighing 130.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And so instead he went for this cannonball ride, which was a steep black pipe, and you just came out like a cannon, and that really, the super heavyweight thing came into his own on that. The splash level was like tidal wave at Thorpe Park. I love you, Rug, but yes, that was funny. So we can go there, but either way, no one needs to snap themselves. I'm training for the British champs. I've got big competition, the 2 of us.
We'll be fighting for a podium.
Fighting for the podium. Which one we're going to get, gold or silver? So it's nice to see male weightlifting really, really pushing forward with the numbers there. Obviously, if Jack was there would have been 3 of us, so that was big. and I would fighting for bronze or silver. But either way, I think the women's going to be where the entertainment's at.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there anything else you guys want to say before we toddle off? Get some early night?
I think so. I think that's
we're just going to get some training done and just get ready for the British. It's a nice little holiday place. We've got a nice gym. We've got to train outside with a bit of shelter over the top, so you get nice and warm. My knees, I mean, they barely even hurt that much at the minute. Like, not training, getting some sun.
That's a first.
Good. So at the minute I just, walk around using the encouragement stick, beat anyone who doesn't train hard enough, that kind of stuff. So it's all pretty good. I can't complain. I'm just chilling away with my arm to rest and watching Sarah become a boss and pitting her against Jess in training sessions and making sure that they train together.
She's got a clean jerk by a snatch on Monday.
Yeah. So
I've just been trying to do more than Sarah every day as well.
Yeah, I find a lot of men do that. They
That's
really
all
have
I do.
to work for it. So.
Yeah, I think it upsets some of the boys in the gym today.
But that's all part of the fun. That's what
That is all part of the fun.
It's just back in the day, Sarah.
I just look what weight you load on, and then I try and put one more on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get those
Dip
pound
under what I
plates
see
out.
with those
$1 million
little
deal.
Yeah, these little halves.
I see him lift this, I lift 1 kilo more.
Yeah, I know. And then I look at her when I do it, and then she screams loud, and then I feel like I need to be quiet now.
And you introduce yourself as Plum and Jelly Ashcroft.
Plum and Jelly Ascoff, yeah.
Maybe I'll call you that now. Okay.
What, are you saying Sarah's Vanev?
I think she's
Sure.
on You're Peter Tanev,
yeah. I'm Peter Tanev, or is she Peter Tanev? Because I made a few lifts today.
Yeah, well, I think she made them all, so you're probably Tanev.
Damn, alright. Well, on that note, thanks guys. Bedtime coach.
Yeah, it's bedtime. Everyone get to bed. I'll be checking for light under doors in half an hour.
Yes.